This is post-exit planning, recognizing the switch. So this is a quick passage from my book titled Toxic Encounters: Why People Pursue Rebound Relationships, which will be available on Amazon spring 2021. So I'm going to read the passage and then offer a quick analysis of it. Rebounders initiate the rebound relationship with the intent to leave the relationship. They end the relationship before it even begins. They understand at the very beginning of the encounter that they are not here to stay. A female rebound in the relationship might be fine with this decision if the male rebounder would let her in on the secret. In some cases, many people today are exposing their intentions and calling their relationship friends with benefits. The FWB relationship category suggests that the relations between the two people are not expected to transition into a true, genuine, and substantial relationship. There are exceptions where romantic partners have converted the friends with benefits zone to dating and then later to a more substantial relationship. But this is rare, but it can happen. However, this is truly never the case for rebound relationships. People who are on the rebound never let the other people know that they are on the hunt for a substitute relationship until an ex-partner comes around. I wanted to add that difference between a rebound relationship and a friends with benefits relationship, because friends with benefits relationships can convert to a core relationship leading to marriage. It is very possible. I do understand that people say be careful of a woman friend zoning you or you being friend zoned by a man, but there is a greater possibility that relationship, those types of relationships, can actually convert to long term leading to marriage over a rebound relationship. And remember, the formation of a rebound relationship is actually the ending of that relationship, because there is no guarantee that you're going to keep the rebound unless you are playing some sort of little ego game, whereas you return to your ex-partner but you keep the rebound on quiet or on the down low or something like that, and you do what you do with the rebound. Well, then a rebound becomes a mistress if you decide to marry your core partner. But as soon as you decide to create a rebound relationship, you've basically ended the relationship before it begins, because we all know that no one marries the rebound. It is very rare, because the rebound is sort of like dating down, and men in particular like to be perceived as winners, right? And so to marry their rebound would sort of frame them as a loser. Now, it's funny that they won't marry the rebound, but they will marry the mistress. The mistress is it looks like, for a man, that he's, I guess, virile. He's the man. He knows how to balance his relationships. So he might exit the relationship with the wife, and it's really her exiting the relationship with him, unless he's a powerful man or something like that. And then he has the prerogative in that situation to exit. But regardless, the core relationship is terminated, and then the man decides to marry the mistress. Well, that's much more likely. Now, that doesn't mean that they're going to live with the mistress forever. There's always a time limit of some sort. You can't take somebody's husband or take somebody's wife and expect to live in peace. I don't care what people say about open relationships and all these, different dynamics. I don't care. You cannot come between two people and expect to keep that relationship. It's not going to happen. You are sowing the wrong kind of seeds, because later it could be 10 years down the road, and you've been with that person 10 years down the road, and somehow somebody from his past or from his present comes along and takes him away from you. It never it is something that is always going to be there in the back of your mind. So the forming of a rebound relationship already begins with the intent to leave the relationship. That just because the man left the house after a recent breakup, went to the club, found somebody, had a one night stand, and then decided to date that person and try to pursue some kind of relationship does not mean that that man is interested in that relationship. It's a rebound relationship. It's just something to do. And so as long as he understands that it is a substitute relationship for the core relationship until the ex-partner comes around, there's always instability, especially emotional and psychological instability in the current relationship that you have with him. That's why it's better to not be impressed with the idea that he asked you out on a date from a one night stand. Don't be impressed with that. Go out on a date if you want to go out on a date, but I would let him talk, let him speak his mind, and then hopefully he will slip with the ex. Yeah, I just broke up with my ex. Once he says that, you know it's not a true relationship. Immediately accept that, because if you don't accept that, he's going to switch on you before you even get a chance to realize that he's switching on you. And the switch is always him going back to the ex. And before he does that, though, he hooks you with sex. He hooks you with the idea of being in a relationship. Oh, I like you. We get along really well. You do it for me. You're a good person. You are a breath of fresh air. I didn't know I could meet somebody like that, like you. And that's all hooking. That's not him trying to maintain a relationship with you. That's just keeping you on the hook, because remember, he's trying to make himself look good to his ex-partner. She keeps telling him that he needs to do X amount of things before he can come back. And so he's going to withhold sex from her so he can look like he's serious. But he got to be getting sex from somewhere, which means from you. And in some cases, it might segue into a friends with benefit situation, but you initially began it as a rebound situation, or he began it involuntarily as a rebound situation. And that's how you know it's really not going to work out. So you need to be able to recognize the switch, because the switch comes very subtle. And the switch is essentially, yeah, I just broke up with my ex. That's actually the switch. Because why bring in the ex in a current dating relationship that we're trying to build? Why even go there? I didn't ask you about your ex. We weren't even on the discussion about your ex. We were talking about something else. And then you decided to, talk about your ex. So then that's the switch. And so it may be beneficial for you to sort of engage him. Oh, okay, what happened with your ex? Oh, she this, oh, she that. And if he gets into a discussion about the negative points of that ex, it's really not negatives. He's just expressing himself in the moment. He's just mad something happened between them that he's not going to tell you the full story about. And he's just using you as a sounding board. He's using you as a way to vent his anger, his frustration, which will likely lead to you guys leaving the restaurant to go have sex. But the switch is immediately when he says, yeah, I just broke up with my ex. And asks the question, okay, so how long? How long have y'all been broken up? Oh, about a week or so. Run. As soon as he says that, run. Do not engage him in the prospect of having a relationship with him at any time, even if you broke up with a relationship for good, with the ex for good, you are still a rebound for him. You're still a person that he used to fill a gap, fill a time. And he has framed you as that kind of person. He has framed you as a person he could leave. So I would let him get in relationship with someone else and let him do whatever he's going to do with someone else. I would just be friends with him. I would be careful not to be friends with benefits, because you could fall in love with him, and understand that you would be a substitute in the situation. And you say, I may be a little negative and say, no, it could actually turn into something else, not based on the framing. That you could be together for 5 years, 10 years, and somehow something between you just is no longer working. I never really understood how people can be together 25 years and then divorce. I don't think they were ever supposed to be together. Because why would you now need to divorce somebody? Because a lot of times they stay for the kids, they stay for the 2 incomes, they stay for the convenience. But it doesn't make any sense that you would divorce after 25 years. All the kids are gone, and so now I'm going to divorce. Okay, so it was never about me. It was only about the kids. That's honorable in some ways. You didn't run out on your kids, but it's less honorable that you are deciding to leave me as a mate. So recognize the switch it slips in, and if you don't watch it, or you hear it but ignore it and say, oh, well, he's not with her now, he's with me. Don't lie to yourself. That when he puts out that statement, I just broke up with my ex, or he talks about his ex in any kind of way, in the first few months of you dating, or being with each other, being in bed with each other, or something like that, that is a sure sign that your relationship with him is not going to work. Hopefully you were able to gain some insight from that quick video. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, visit my website for more content. You can send me an email, I will reply. You can purchase the book when it becomes available, spring 2021, Toxic Encounters, and then it's a title change from Bait, Hook, and Switch, Confessions of a Rebound Girl. Thank you very much for visiting the channel.